Welcome to the OnlyFans Secrets Marketing Podcast. The goal of this podcast is to help both new and established OnlyFans creators learn the basics of online branding, marketing, and promotion to help you make more money with your content and maximize your time online. My name is Richard Lewis, and I have over 20 years of internet marketing experience. So let's get started with today's topic. And that topic is the OnlyFans Content Creators Survey 2021. So last week, I was hard at work on my blog, creating an update to OnlyFans statistics for 2021. And the one that is currently all over Google is a page from a site called Influencer Marketing Hub. And I noticed that it relied on basically one source, or its main source as being an article titled The Economics of OnlyFans. And this was written by a site called xsrus.com. It made claims that the average OnlyFans creator only made $180 a month. The top 1% make 33% of all income, and that most accounts make less than $145 a month. I researched and found that this source was a random blogger with about 708 followers on Twitter. He also just basically got this information from scraping the site back in April of 2020, and then extrapolated some numbers pretty much out of nowhere. After including in my stats page that this info was false, it occurred to me that no one was actually asking real OnlyFans creators about, what they were making on the platform, what they were doing on the platform, how loyal they were to the platform, and their feelings about it. So because I luckily have the most extensive Twitter promotion for OnlyFans creators, I decided to, do some polling of real creators and ask questions and report those results. So in this episode, I'm going to reveal those results and go over them with you. And I also obviously made a blog about this, and you can find that blog at seobounty.com/blog. And that's basically all the data that I'm going to talk about now, with fancy pictures and a summary of each question. So I'll go ahead and jump right into the survey. So the first question that I asked was, what percentage of your monthly income comes from OnlyFans? So 130 content creators participated in this particular question. And the results were that, and I'm going to round up on all of these numbers, so sometimes they won't all add up to 100%. So I'm just letting you know it'll be rough numbers. So about 19% said that 100% of their income comes from OnlyFans. About 14% said 75% or less. About 9% said 25% or less. Then the majority here, 59%, said that 10% or less of their income comes from OnlyFans. So what we can take from this is that, obviously we know that the growth of OnlyFans really exploded, when the pandemic started, that people were jumping on as far as, trying to make additional income. And what I was looking for in this question was whether or not, that has changed. So are people, currently going to be making, more money, and that's kind of, why they are on the platform, or are they still getting on the platform because they're looking for, that kind of gig money. And from what I could see is that most of the people who are jumping on to OnlyFans or on OnlyFans right now there's still a lot of people who are using it for additional income. Not so much, as basically people are starting to, move along towards higher and higher, income streams from OnlyFans. So you still have a lot of people who who are just on the site, jumping on the site, to see if they can achieve success. And the fact that about 20% of people achieve all their income from OnlyFans. You could look at that two different ways. You could look at it that people are, achieving their goals as far as being able to make this their career or their job. And, that's good. Or you could look at it also that they are not able to have other types of jobs or careers at the moment because the job market is still rough, and that they're having to earn 100%. So in this particular question, definitely we can learn that a lot of people are still making a small amount of money from their OnlyFans. Okay, and then what we have is, the next question I asked was, how many jobs do you have currently besides OnlyFans? Now, 169 different content creators participated in this question, and it broke down like this. 33% said they had 0 other jobs besides OnlyFans. 48% said they had 1 other job. About 11% said they had 2 other jobs. And 9% said they had 3 other jobs besides OnlyFans. This is definitely speaking to the fact that the economy, as far as jobs, people are still out there, maybe with a main job and also with several gig jobs that they are earning income from. So if you have 9% of people, that's OnlyFans is their 4th job. That's kind of crazy if you think about it. Basically trying to do anything they can to earn that additional income. It's interesting that if you take the last poll question, 32% of people have 0 other jobs, but only, a few percent, let's see, what was that? 19% are earning 100%. So that's a huge difference. There's a lot of people who are on OnlyFans that aren't earning, enough, but they are still on there and they don't have any other job. Now, almost half of people had 1 other job. So basically that's saying to me that people are able to have that full-time job and then come home and still be able to do a lot of their work with their OnlyFans. But it does show to the, softness, I guess, of the job market that people have to have all of these different careers. And it also just shows that people have less time to market themselves. So when you have all of these jobs, when you take the time to listen to this podcast, which I greatly appreciate, you don't have a lot of time to really devote to OnlyFans success. And you can look at it one way or the other, which is that for those people who do have the time, that's going to give them a bit of advantage to earn more money on the platform. For those of you who have all of these different jobs, it's going to be harder for you to find the time to be as successful as you might want to be on OnlyFans. And you might want to look at the jobs that you have and say, okay, well, do they have the potential to make me the kind of money that OnlyFans does? I mean, you want to look at how you've been progressing with your OnlyFans account over the last couple months or maybe over the last year and say, does it have more advantages or disadvantages than some of the other jobs that you might be looking at? Okay, and then the third question I asked was, do you post nudity on your OnlyFans page? Now, obviously, there's a perception out there in the world about OnlyFans, about, it being mainly 18 plus material. And in this particular survey, 219 people participated in this question. And yes was an overwhelming winner. Of 80% of people surveyed said that they do post nudity. And then another 12% said that they post it in PPV, which is pay-per-view. And then only 7% of people said that they do not post any nudity on their OnlyFans. So that does answer that question, which is that the majority of people, at least those who are out there marketing themselves, on a platform, like Twitter, which is where the survey was done, as I mentioned, they are obviously out there with that, and they do have nudity or 18 plus material on their pages. And only 7% of people said that they did not post the nudity on their OnlyFans page. So as of right now, still in 2021, the majority of people are posting more explicit material on OnlyFans, and they have not been able to transition, at least from this poll, to more people who are not posting that kind of material. And the fourth question is, how many hours a week do you spend working on and promoting your OnlyFans page? So I definitely wanted to ask this question because there's a lot of argument out there that people are spending a lot of time on their OnlyFans page and not necessarily making, enough money from the time that they're putting in. Now, as I've gone over in the podcast, you put a lot of time in when it comes to branding and marketing in the beginning, and then it starts to pay off, and then you're able to go off and do other things, explore other avenues, because you now have built up an audience. And obviously it's harder, as I've said before, it's harder to get the first 50 people than it is to get the next 500 people. And that's just how all of marketing is. You can imagine you have to spend a lot of time to get those first 50 people. And then you don't spend nearly as much time to get the next 450 people, which is crazy, but that's just generally how marketing works. And then it just extrapolates from there to where you have, how did I get 5,000 people or 10,000 people? Because those people, especially through social media, through shares, through leverage, you're able to get more and more people. So in this particular survey, 105 people participated, and more than 10 hours won this particular question at 37%. So 37% of participants spent more than 10 hours working on and promoting their OnlyFans page. Next was 5 hours or less, which was 35% of people. So 35% of people spent 5 hours or less. And then next was 10 hours or less at 14%. And finally, 1 hour or less at 13%. So for people who are out there promoting themselves, they are spending the time marketing themselves. So only 13% of people are saying they're spending less than an hour, either marketing or creating content, so that's good. That means the majority of people are actually out there hustling, so to speak. It does mean that the amount of time being put in, 5 hours or less, but more than 10 hours having 37%, it means people are putting in a good amount of time. And if they're succeeding, obviously if people are, succeeding on the platform, then they're going to spend more time on it. They're going to put more effort. So I say that's a good sign, because the fact that more than 10 hours, most of the time people are not going to put effort into something that's not working. They're going to say, okay, well, I'm spinning my wheels, isn't going anywhere. So the fact that people are spending time shows that it's likely paying off. And, for a survey like this, I'm looking forward to doing the survey every year, because next year we'll be able to know, say if we ask the same question and people are, 50% of people are spending more than 10 hours on their OnlyFans, it'll say that the majority of people are really getting success and making money from the platform. All right. Now the next question, and this one was interesting. Would you continue working with OnlyFans if your commission went from 80% to 70%? So in this question, I wanted to know, I'm testing basically brand loyalty. Is OnlyFans doing enough to maintain that status where people are saying, okay, I'm making a little less money, but I really like OnlyFans, and I like how OnlyFans works with content creators. And my thought process here is that from these results, and the results are